gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Now to the deadly stabbing at Macy's in Philadelphia. A security guard was killed and another wounded at the peak of the holiday shopping season. Stephanie Ramos is on the scene in Philadelphia. Good morning, Stephanie.
George, good morning. The deadly altercation happened at this Macy's department store when two guards trying to do their jobs were attacked.
Stabbing at Macy's.
This morning, a man is in custody after a deadly altercation at this busy Philadelphia Macy's store.
People trying to shop and be joyful and happy, and stuff like this happens. So you just got to be careful.
A security guard approached the man attempting to steal multiple hats. The man leaving the area, but police say he returned 15 minutes later to confront two guards.
There's a scuffle with the second security guard trying to save the first guard that stabbed, and that security guard sustains several stab wounds as well.
Authorities say the security guards were not armed. Both were rushed to the hospital. The 30-year-old guard later dying from his injuries. The suspect running from the scene. Authorities say he was apprehended moments later at a train station. This comes as retail theft is on the rise across the country, with smash and grabs becoming a common sight. The retail industry losing more than $100 billion in 2022, according to the National Retail Federation.
So that goes back to my debate with Chaotic Truth about can the supergremlins really affect the infrastructure? They absolutely can, to the tune of $100 billion. That's how much damage these supergremlins have done to our economy, our businesses, major and small corporations. It's absolutely ridiculous. They need to be stopped.
Macy's says in a statement that the security and safety of their customers and colleagues is their top priority. This location remains temporarily closed. This is still an active investigation, Michael.
Yeah, sad tragedy there, Stephanie. Thank you so much.
This is the norm in the community, y'all. He tried to do his job and stop the looters, and they looted him of his life. These super gremlins are on demon time.
These security officers are just doing their job. They're here to make sure that people can come to this location and shop in a safe manner.
Now at 4, one Macy's security officer is dead. Another hospitalized after they were stabbed by a shoplifting suspect. It happened in the heart of Center City as horrified holiday shoppers looked on. It is Monday afternoon. I'm Sarah Bloomquist.
And I'm Brian Taft. The big story on Action News today is that double stabbing inside the Macy's in Center City this morning. It all began with an effort to steal some hats, then took a deadly turn when the suspect came back to the store following a confrontation.
One person is in custody at this hour. Action News reporter Aliana Gomez is live outside Macy's with the very latest. Aliana.
Brian and Sarah, tragically, the two security guards hired to keep those shoppers safe inside of Macy's flagship store brutally attacked this morning. And as you see, Macy's, this store here in Center City, is a major attraction during the holiday shopping season. All this happening during the height of the shopping season as well. The storefront serving as a location for tourists and locals to come, now shut down, the security gates down, the local family mourning the loss of a loved one.
We're gonna have to close this store down. I need somebody with some tape.
A murder inside Macy's sent shoppers running for safety.
They were shopping, and on the loudspeakers, they just said it's an emergency and everyone needs to evacuate. And then everyone got pushed out.
Philadelphia police.
These ninjas really ruined Christmas. They seriously ruined Christmas. It's gonna be tough this holiday season. Shout out to KJ Stone with the $3 PayPal. I appreciate your contribution and glad to have you on the stream.
Oh, say less.
Police say 2 unarmed security guards were stabbed and slashed by a man who was trying to steal hats from the retail store on 13th and Market around 10:45 Monday morning.
The security here stops that individual. There's some type of confrontation. The security here backs off, gets the merchandise back, allows the mail to go on.
But 15 minutes later, he came back to Macy's, this time armed with a knife and attacked.
Damn, so he literally got the merch back. He did his job, and the super gremlin spun the block. This is how dangerous these ninjas are, man. This is how treacherous and vengeful these ninjas are, man. Oh my God.
Attacked the security guards.
There's a scuffle with the second security guard trying to save the first guard that stabbed, and that security guard sustains several stab wounds as well, or slash wounds as well.
A 30-year-old security guard was stabbed in the neck and died 20 minutes later.
Woo!
The other, a 23-year-old, was transported to Jefferson Hospital and is now in stable condition.
Only thing they were doing was doing their job. And I'm so sad to hear this. My heart goes out to these families, for everyone involved.
The suspect ran to a nearby train station but was captured by SEPTA police at the Somerset station in Kensington.
Wearing dark color pants, blue shiny coat. He had one sneaker on, one white sneaker.
The action cam was there as officers took a man matching his description into custody.
And a Macy's spokesperson has released a statement saying, quote, "We're heartbroken about the incident that took place today at Macy's Center City. The store will remain temporarily closed as we work with law enforcement on this investigation and defer any further comments about the case to them." And we're still working to get an identification on the victims and, of course, the suspect as well. Once we have that information, we'll bring it to you live and on air at 6abc.com. For now, we're live in Center City. Aliana Gomez, Channel 6, Nation News. Sarah? All right. Aliana, thank you.
And they didn't have a immediate ID. Maybe he was rocking the infamous Pooh Shiesty mask.
This morning, the Macy's in downtown Philadelphia is marked with yellow crime scene tape. Police investigating a deadly double stabbing they say happened Monday after 2 unarmed security guards stopped a would-be shoplifter.
The security here backs off, gets the merchandise back, allows the mail to go on.
But about 10 minutes later, police say the man returned to the store and stabbed one of the guards, and then the other after he tried to help. The suspect, who fled on a subway, was later arrested at a station a few stops away. Both security guards were taken to the hospital, where one died from his injuries.
This started as a retail theft, upgraded obviously to a robbery, and then led ultimately to a homicide. And so, again, it's just a tragic situation.
According to Philadelphia police, this Macy's store is a hotbed of shoplifting, with over 250 reported retail thefts so far this year. In a statement to NBC News, Macy's says it is heartbroken about the incident, adding, "Ensuring the safety and well-being of customers and colleagues is always our top priority." The deadly incident comes as retail crimes have been getting a lot of attention nationwide. Though there's conflicting data on nationwide shoplifting, it is up in some major cities, including New York and Los Angeles.
Some major cities? You gotta be freaking kidding me.
A flash mob recently stole $12,000 worth of apparel from a Nike store. In Philadelphia, police say there has been an uptick in property theft this year, including shoplifting. Now, one of the city's most popular department stores has also become the scene of a violent crime.
The mayor of Philadelphia says he's horrified by what happened here yesterday, and he's praying for the families of those security guards. Their identities, as well as the suspect's identity, have not yet been revealed. Hoda?
All right, Stephanie Gosk for us there in Philly. Steph, thank you.
Philly is a bad place to be right now, yo.
Story in Action News at noon is the aftermath of the horrific crime that struck at the heart of Center City this holiday season.
A Macy's security guard was killed and a second guard was injured during the stabbing attack inside the store. Police sources tell Action News the suspect, now identified as 30-year-old Tyrone Tunnell, was arrested yesterday after leaving the scene.
As you can see, Thug Max Alpha 7, and it looks like maybe mama or baby mama or somebody wanted to come and talk to him. Look how this officer's shoes are away.
Now identified.
What the hell y'all doing with my baby? He ain't do nothing. Y'all better let him go. Bitch, get the fuck on.
30-year-old Tyrone Tunnell was arrested yesterday after leaving the scene. Court records show Tunnell has a long history of retail theft, robbery, and drug offenses.
A long history of retail theft, robbery, and drug offenses, and he is still on the streets. Why? Yeah, okay.
The news reporter Maggie Kent live for us just outside of Philadelphia Police Headquarters. So, Maggie, you spoke with the mother of the security guard who was killed?
John, I sat down with Eric Harrison's mom today. She describes her son as a man with an incredible work ethic, working 2 jobs just yesterday. He also has a dry sense of humor. She says he was her best friend. And although he's...
And this is an example of the worst of us taking out the best of us, as I have detailed in many other stories that I've covered on this channel.
27 years old, she was treating Christmas like she always does, hiding his presence in the basement.
I would just like to know why my baby.
Dawn Fobbs is in shock and disbelief.
One of the reasons why, unfortunately, we have to say, since we are in I Told You So as community and channel, you voted for this. That's what. That's one of the reasons.
Her son, 27-year-old Eric Harrison, was killed while working his security job at Macy's yesterday morning.
It couldn't happen to a more innocent soul, if that makes any sense. Like, just at work doing your job. You know, his second job at that.
After working overnight at the post office, Harrison made his way to Macy's, where he'd been a security guard for 2 years. It was a routine stop of a shoplifter who tried to steal hats. Harrison retrieved the merchandise and sent the man on his way.
So think about the mindset of the super gremlin who did the stabbings. He crashed out over a few hats. This is why I have coined the term thug maxed alpha simp.
With a knife, fatally stabbing Harrison and injuring his 23-year-old coworker.
This started as a retail theft, upgraded obviously to a robbery, and then led ultimately to a homicide.
The suspect, named by police sources as 30-year-old Tyrone Tunnell, tried to escape on the subway, but was caught soon after at the Somerset station by SEPTA police. Harrison's mother also works in retail as a store manager. She understands there's risk, but this is senseless.
Over some merchandise, you came in and took my baby's life. Like, he'll never have children. He'll never get married.
But guess what? If this guy would have been stealing, and the police stopped him and they shot him and they killed him because he pulled out a knife or whatnot, this woman would be on the streets protesting. Tell me I'm wrong.
All because of some hats.
Her son, described as a Frankfurt High graduate, a Philly kid through and through, leaves behind 3 younger sisters.
Just pray for us. Just pray for strength for me, please, and my family, because that's what we need.
She went on to say that, of course, she is grieving and there was so much to do.
And this is just another example of they don't care until it's their own. Now she's going to become a mother activist against gun violence. I mean, I have empathy for those mothers, but at the same time, took you a while.
To prepare for a funeral for her son now, but she does want to take the time out and thank his coworker who tried to step in and save him, getting slashed in the face and stabbed in the arm himself.
Yeah, shout out to Broski.
We're live outside of police headquarters. Maggie Kent, Channel 6, Action News. Sarah.
Yeah, Maggie, a tragedy all the way around. Thank you.
Woo! Shit, man. It's Philly for your ass.
The big story on Action News is the breaking update from authorities late this afternoon. SEPTA police say they were able to track the suspect in real time in the minutes after the crime, leading to his quick arrest at Somerset Station in Kensington. According to police, Tunnell was confronted by a security guard at Macy's for attempting to steal some hats. He first left the store, but came back 13 minutes later and attacked the guards. 27-year-old Eric Harrison was stabbed in the neck. A second guard stabbed when he came to Harrison's aid. Harrison did not survive. Investigators detail what happened next.
It's then that you see the defendant get up, pick up a shoe from the victim that had fallen off, ran down the steps of the SEPTA station, sat down on a bench, threw that knife away. We recovered that knife and put on the shoe of the victim.
Tunnell is now being held.
Jesus Christ, now that's different. This ninja stabbed the man in the neck, killing him, proceeds to take off his shoes and rocks the shoes of his victim. This is next level shiesty. This is next level treachery. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Held without bail. He will make his first court appearance in the coming weeks.
In the meantime, we are hearing today from the heartbroken mother of that 27-year-old who was killed in that attack.
She's really struggling to come to terms with this unimaginable loss. Action News reporter Maggie Kent spoke with her this morning. She's live outside of Macy's with that part of this story. Maggie.
A heartbreaking loss, especially right ahead of the holiday season. Macy's is still closed today because of the murder that took place here yesterday, and people have been coming to lay flowers down on the ground outside of the entrance in remembrance of a man who was killed while just doing his job.
He just turned 27 in October, and it's over.
Don Fobbs.
Damn, this ninja is damn near my age. Man, it's sickening, yo.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Is in shock and disbelief. Her son, 27-year-old Eric Harrison, was killed while working his security job at Macy's yesterday morning.
It couldn't happen to a more innocent soul, if that makes any sense. Like, just at work doing your job. You know, his second job at that.
After working overnight at the post office, Harrison made his way to Macy's, where he'd been a security guard for 2 years.
This started as a retail theft, upgraded obviously to a robbery, and then led ultimately to a homicide.
It was a routine stop of a shoplifter who tried to steal hats. Harrison retrieved the merchandise and sent the man on his way, but he returned with a knife, fatally stabbing Harrison and injuring his 23-year-old coworker.
But I would really love to, to thank him. And I know he got injured himself, so I am truly, truly thankful.
The suspect, 30-year-old Tyrone Tunnell, tried to escape on the subway, but was caught soon after at the Somerset station by SEPTA police. Tunnell has been arrested more than a dozen times for retail theft, robbery, and drug offenses throughout the region. Now he faces murder charges.
The world we live in is senseless right now. And for somebody to come in.
But this is the world that y'all created, though. Let's keep it a buck. If it wasn't for the protests and the social justice movements that occurred in 2020, we might be sitting pretty right now. Her son may still be alive.
And then take my baby's life over a hat, or you're angry that you didn't get away with the hats. I don't even know how to fathom it.
And the victim in this case leaves behind 3 younger sisters as his family prepares for his funeral. We're live outside of Macy's in Center City. Maggie Kent, Channel 6, Action News.
Woo! And this is deep, y'all. This is deep. I want to get every detail of this story, so we're going to do it.
Police
say that this stabbing happened after the suspect tried to shoplift inside the store. CBS News Philadelphia reporter Nikki Dementri is here. Nikki, you've been following this story.
Right, yeah. Chet makes a great point. He came back and murdered the security guard who let him go in the first place. He should have been arrested for stealing. But, bro, you know what I'm saying? Shit, we caught you, bro. Whatever. Look, bro, you don't want to ruin your life over 3 hats, bro. Just come back with some bread. And then they let the nigga go. He comes back and kills him.
All day.
Yeah, a whole host of emotions by shoppers here today. A lot going on. Obviously, we know the holiday light show and the windows bring families from all over to Center City. Today, the stabbings happened right before lunchtime as the store started the busy holiday rush.
Just a tragic situation. Again, just right here, a few weeks before the holiday, these security officers are just doing their job.
Philadelphia police say a 30-year-old man is dead while a 23-year-old man is in the hospital. Both stabbed just 15 minutes after they stopped a person from stealing hats at this Macy's. Denise Shaw was inside when it all happened.
All of a sudden, the guy came on the thing and he said, "Get out." He was like, "We're closed. Everybody evacuate. Go to the nearest exit."
Briefly, Market Street in front of the store and the eastbound Market Frankfurt line entrance were closed as officers went in and out of the department store entrance. As investigators try to find out why that person decided to come back with a knife and carry out this incident, shoppers say they're stunned.
Really? I just don't understand why we're surprised of this anymore. Oh, because nobody watches my channel. Nobody's sharing the channel. I'm shadow banned. I'm censored, even though I'm trying to stop things like this from happening and make people aware that you can't just tell one of these supergremlins to leave. They're going to come back and spin the block. If you would have been watching my channel, they would have known this and they would have been prepared adequately for the return of this supergremlin on Demon Time.
I don't want to wake up to this.
Deborah Jackson Smith wasn't inside when the incident happens, but she often shops at this Macy's.
Here, a family has lost a member over nonsense. Protecting the store. This is what the person does, a security guard, and he gets stabbed.
Every year, Jennifer Funk comes into the city with her family to enjoy nearby Christmas Village and Macy's holiday windows.
We're actually staying at the hotel right over here, and we heard a crap ton of sirens coming out earlier. Just didn't know what was going on. And
Funk learned about what happened after talking with the crowd of people growing along the crime scene tape.
It's disgusting to think that someone would end someone's life over a hat.
Something like this happens, does that change that tradition?
It could. It definitely could.
Now, a spokesperson for the district attorney's office tells CBS News Philadelphia within the next day or so, the suspect is expected to be charged with murder and aggravated assault. Meanwhile, a Macy's spokesperson tells us they will share updates on store hours as they become available. So a lot to unpack here as this investigation continues.
And keep us updated. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki.
We actually get to hear from our good friend Larry Krasner on this in the next clip, so buckle up.
Tonight here at 5 o'clock, the Macy's in Center City is still closed tonight after a security guard was killed inside, and we're learning more about him tonight as District Attorney Larry Krasner announces charges against the man accused of fatally stabbing him and injuring another. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Sheba Russell. The details of those charges and the investigation coming out just moments ago. Today, loved ones of the guard who was killed arriving at Macy's to pay their respects, a growing memorial there. And that's where our Jeff Cole is tonight. But first, Shawnette, what are you learning about the suspect and the investigation?
Well, Sheba, the suspect is 30-year-old Tyrone Tunnell. He is charged with murder, attempted murder, and other charges involving the stabbing that we know happened here at this Macy's behind me just yesterday. The stabbing of 2 security guards here, one we know has died. So out of a news conference today, we learned that this suspect also has a lengthy criminal record. The district attorney referred to this incident as premeditated and brutal and says that it was all captured on surveillance cameras, which police are still looking at. The suspect, we know, was taken into custody yesterday, the same day of the attacks. And just to walk you back a bit, it was 10:45 yesterday morning that police say the suspect tried to steal hats from Macy's here in Center City. Those 2 security guards we're talking about stopped him, and then the man was allowed to leave the store. But the suspect came back armed with a knife, we know, and stabbed 27-year-old Derek Harrison in the neck. He died at Jefferson Hospital, and police say the suspect also stabbed a 23-year-old security guard in the face and arm. That guard is in stable condition at Jefferson Hospital. His name has not yet been released. Now, the suspect was arrested after getting on SEPTA on a train and getting off at the Somerset station in Kensington. Here's what officials said at that press conference, which wrapped up moments ago, about how this all has affected, of course, the victims' families, but also people who were nearby when this happened.
It's at that point that the defendant pulls out a knife. It's a switchblade knife. There's a young mother and her child walking by at the time. He approaches that security guard. He then sees the other security guard that I guess he really had the beef with. He goes after him and stabs him once in the neck.
Wow.
That security guard falls and the other security guard comes to his aid. It's then that you see the defendant get up, pick up a shoe from the victim that had fallen off, ran down the steps of the SEPTA station, sat down on a bench, threw that knife away. We recovered that knife and put on the shoe of the victim.
And we are very strongly committed to the vigorous prosecution of this individual for what is in fact a heinous crime.
So we hear Larry Krasner saying, or as I like to call him, Leslie Krasner, because he's softer than a bitch named Leslie. But we hear him saying that they're going to punish the crime vigorously, which we highly doubt, because this guy shouldn't have been on the streets in the first place. If you would have just done your job originally, then we wouldn't have to be having this press conference now, would we?
And a very, very tragic and disturbing crime, not only against the young man who died, but also against this young man who, as I understand it, underwent surgery today and whose health has been very seriously affected by all of this. I know there's a store full of workers over there who are traumatized by this.
All right, certainly hard to listen to that. And in the background, you can hear this festive music still playing from Macy's here. Certainly doesn't reflect the mood that people are feeling as they walk by here, knowing what happened yesterday. Coming up later tonight, we will hear from the district attorney about the prosecution of retail thefts as it relates to incidents like this. Back to you.
Wow. Now it's time to hear more from the community. See if they are going to condemn the violence and work toward a solution.
I was on my way. I was on my way shopping, and everything's blocked off. So I heard the people talking about it, and someone lost their life in blood. It's so senseless. It's not worth it.
Glenn Harris doesn't know the men or the families of
Guarantee she voted for this.
affected, but she's staring at the Center City Macy's in tears.
This person came to work just like all of you did. You came to work today to do their job, not to lose their life.
Police say it was 10:45 when store security attempted to stop a man from stealing.
And the security here backs off, gets the merchandise back, allows the mail to go on.
15 minutes later, police say he came back.
And when the mail comes back into the store, he immediately goes straight towards one of the security guards and then redirects his attention to a second security guard, runs directly to that security guard with a knife already exposed and begins to stab him. There's a scuffle with the second security guard trying to save the first guard that stabbed, and that security guard sustains several stab wounds as well.
Both guards were taken to Jefferson Hospital, where one was pronounced dead. While police say the suspect was caught, it is of little comfort to those who came here to celebrate the season.
We come every year for my birthday. It's a tradition thing that we do. So it's definitely going to be more careful next year and possibly not make it and go somewhere else.
Thanks for watching.
So these super gremlins got people scared to go Christmas shopping. Christmas is ruined, man.
And Jeff, you spoke with the victim's aunt.
We certainly did. Listen, Jason, a Macy's holiday display in this landmark building, the Wanamaker building, is literally a symbol of the season for many in this region. The fact that there was a killing inside this store is simply unimaginable for many.
And I genuinely don't understand how it's unimaginable when Philly is racking up murders by the second.
The front doors of Macy's on Market Street in the holiday season are bolted shut as flowers rest on the sidewalk below. Patrons of this national retailer in this landmark building, the very symbol of the holidays for many, are left gaping in store windows. Several miles away, Tyree Harrison Harvey mourns for her 27-year-old nephew slain in Macy's yesterday.
It's so unfortunate that he, never made it home from work yesterday. And I keep having to wrap my mind around that.
Eric Harrison was working his Macy's security job when investigators say Tyrone Tunnell, kicked out earlier for attempting to steal hats, returned and stabbed him. His aunt says Harrison worked a second job at night in the post office, saving to buy a home. She says his alleged killer has wounded the entire family.
He let you go, gave you a pass, and you came back. And then come to find out, I heard that my nephew wasn't even the one who stopped him.
Yeah, and it's just the pride of the super gremlin. He can't take the L. He has to crash out over that. It's in the software. All right, it's in the mainframe. It's programmed. He can't walk away from that humiliation. Damn, I tried to hit a lick and I failed. Let me go back and really prove to these niggas I'm a real gangster.
Macy says it will reopen Wednesday. A police source tells Fox 29 officers will be inside, their salaries covered by the city. At Macy's side entrance, bike cops stood guard Tuesday, while just yards away, the city's holiday shops clustered around City Hall open for the day. Jessica Tarika arrives with her young daughters to see the holiday lights as they did last year, only to be turned away.
Terrifying to think, that things like that are happening in the city at, places that I frequent with my children.
Now, it is certainly unclear tonight what this horrible slaying, the impact it will have on Center City business during this holiday season. But one thing is certainly clear tonight, that the holiday spirit has clearly taken a hit. Live at Macy's in Center City, Jeff Cole, Fox 29 News. Folks.
So let's hear more from the auntie. Let's see if she's going to drop some wisdom or the same old bullshit that we've been hearing.
Well, first of all, he was a good young man. Worked 2 jobs. He literally got off of work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he went straight to Macy's and opened up the store as a security guard. He worked there for several years, 2 years. He was funny, always had something funny to say out of his mouth, always a jokey joke. He's going to be missed. I'm just trying to process this all, because he wasn't out in the street, and this happened to him. He was working.
And this is something that we talk about often. The good die young, the best of us taken out by the worst of us. This is the norm in the community. It doesn't matter if he's in the streets or not. If the issue is there and he's within proximity, he's going to be victimized, period.
So I just have to say, I just hope the young man who did this really, they prosecute him, because he messed up all our lives, not just mine, my sister, my whole family. Is a lot of us. So we are very, very distraught over this.
There's a lot of people out there that are just, they can't share your pain, but they're angry and they're frustrated over this.
Yes.
Somebody was just at work. He was just doing his job, literally just got up that morning. Not even got up that morning, got off of one job and went to another job and didn't make it home. And now I'm robbed of grandchildren, seeing my son walk down the aisle. Just all the memories I will never get from my 27-year-old son is all gone. And for him to be truly, truly a good kid is something I just don't understand. Out there working 2 40-hour jobs, not one part-time, not one, 2 full-time jobs. And and this is how he's taken out. This is not what life is supposed to look like. That's truly all I have to say. Like, he was my best friend. I know he's gone.
Yeah, 27 is too young.
Too
and
young.
like you said, he's doing his job. He's not on the street. This is someone who, unfortunately, this guy has had charge after charge after charge after charge.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Goodness.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time. Yep, and you'll continue to vote Democrat in the next election cycle. Mark my words.
And I hope that they don't try to say, oh, mental health or anything like that. No.
And who created the mental health excuse? Black women.
I want him to be prosecuted. I want him to pay for my child's life. And that's all I can ask for.
He's saying, oh no, I didn't have a knife, and
Yeah. Well, I know they got witnesses and the other young man, and I pray for his family. And I'm grateful that he speedy recovery, and I'm grateful that he tried to help my son. So I'm so thankful. And even on that note, like, he know what he did.
He know what he did.
What can people? Is there anything people can do for you?
Just pray for us. Keep us in your prayers, because I mean, we are Christians. We just have to, stay together and pray for strength right now to get us through this.
Hopefully they don't talk about that forgiveness shit already.
This one here, it's not a good one. Not at all.
Yeah, true. That's it. Just pray.
Just pray for us.
Just pray. It's like that's all we end up doing at the end of the day. Oh, just pray. Pray it away. Man, this shit ain't gonna never change.
Good afternoon to you, everyone. We are also streaming live on CBS News Philadelphia. I'm Natasha Brown.
I'm Jessica Cartalia in for Siapa Lewis today. We're going to have more on what we're learning during that news conference shortly. But first, we want to talk about the young man who lost his life in this stabbing and the family members who are grieving this afternoon.
Well, loved ones say that Eric Harrison worked 2 jobs, including at the department store, to save up for a house when all of this happened around lunchtime on Monday. CBS News Philadelphia's Nikki Dementri sits down with his family.
Shout out to Deluxe for the $20 cash app.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
And shout out to Product of Cook County with the $10 cash app. I really appreciate you guys' contribution.
I keep telling you, consciousness over coochie, politics over punani.
I feel like I'm in a dream. I'm waiting for somebody to just tap me and say, okay, it's over. It was a joke.
It's a nightmare Tyree Harrison Harvey wouldn't wish on anyone's family. Her nephew, 27-year-old Eric Harrison, was stabbed to death while simply doing his job.
He wasn't out in the street. He wasn't on the corner. He wasn't battling anyone. He was at work.
A day after Harrison lost his life, the Macy's where it all happened remains closed. Strangers came to put flowers at the locked entrance and stand head down and silent in prayer.
The people at Macy's, he would call them auntie. He would always, have a joke. Always welcome people in, always wanting to help someone.
Harrison Harvey says the man she thought of as a son was working 2 jobs to save up money to move out of her house in Longcrest. Overnight, he worked at the post office, and 4 days a week, he drove to Center City to work as a security guard at the department store. She says he was a staple there for the last 2 years.
He was everything to us. We're a very, very close-knit family.
Harrison's aunt is still at a loss in trying to understand why the suspect, identified as Tyrone Tunnell, would do this.
And we let you go, gave you, a pass,
and you came back. And then come to find out, I heard that my nephew wasn't even the one who stopped him. It was someone else. And then you stabbed my nephew.
Her words for what we should all take away from what happened are sharp.
I just want the people, the thieves, to think about you, not just you stealing and coming robbing somewhere or stealing merchandise. You're robbing people's lives of their lives. You're robbing the family.
As this close-knit family tries to navigate the nightmare, they ask the community keep them in prayer. Nikki Dementri.
Prayers make us stronger.
CBS News, Philadelphia.
So that's pretty much the story. We're going to get into these last two just to see, what the sentiment is on the ground and how people have recovered from this stabbing. Because it appears to me that it's pretty much business as usual, back to the same thing. Nothing's going to change and everything remains the same.
Begin at 4 with family traditions resuming at Macy's following the fatal stabbing.
As CBS News Philadelphia reporter Ryan Hughes shows us, safety is top of mind.
A line of shoppers waited outside in the cold for Macy's to reopen. Some tell us they had reservations after what happened on Monday, but they were met with additional security. Macy's employees unlocked the front doors at 11 Wednesday morning and invited shoppers back inside the popular store at 13th and Market. Michael Handler is visiting the city from Santa Fe, New Mexico, but heard what happened inside here Monday morning.
Well, it was a somber mood inside and enhanced security.
Macy's declined an interview, but tells CBS News Philadelphia an elevated number of uniformed officers have been assigned to the store after 27-year-old Eric Harrison, a Macy's security guard, tried to stop a suspected shoplifter. Police say the suspect, Tyrone Tunnell, was allowed to leave, then returned to the store minutes later on Monday and stabbed Harrison and another guard. Harrison died at the hospital.
It's a shame what happened, and feels bad for everybody. We did give some thought to not coming down.
Macy's elaborate window displays and popular holiday light show is a more than 10-year tradition for Ron Forster and his family. They still wanted to come, but couldn't help but notice a message on the sidewalk that says, "R.I.P. Eric, we all love you."
We think about it. We just try to stay safe and just kind of be aware of our surroundings.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, y'all need to get the fuck out of there. Y'all need to go. Don't return. Just don't, man. It's never worth it. These super gremlins are on demon time.
So, but yeah, it does cross your mind.
The second security guard is still recovering. Macy's closed on Tuesday, and the store says counselors are now being made available all week for staff members.
They can't really talk about the event, but they did say they're from other Macy's to support the staff here and bolster security.
And this incident has put retail theft in the spotlight in the city. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we are digging into the data showing retail theft on the rise at this store. And one city councilman is talking solutions to cut down on shoplifting. For now, in Center City, Ryan Hughes, CBS News Philadelphia.
And that solution apparently was the banning of these very pushy masks that have been used as a tool to implement this high level and high rate of crime.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Cartalia.
And I'm Yuki Washington. The guards and their families are top of mind as shoppers return to Macy's.
They tell CBS News Philadelphia reporter Ryan Hughes it's very important to be aware of your surroundings.
I think it shouldn't have happened, and I know the guys were doing their job.
Michael Handler was one of the first customers to step back inside the Macy's at 13th and Market in Center City. Employees unlocked the doors and reopened the store at 11 Wednesday morning.
Well, it was a somber mood inside and enhanced security.
Macy's tells CBS News Philadelphia more uniformed police officers have been assigned to this location 2 days after 27-year-old Eric Harrison and another security guard were stabbed after stopping a suspected shoplifter. Harrison died at the hospital, The second guard is still recovering.
You have to be aware, you have to be vigilant.
We found Eli Jules behind the counter at the Truffleist, a small shop set up inside Christmas Village in Love Park. He says retail theft is part of the cost of doing business in Philadelphia.
And that is always going to be a thing, something to expect. It is the holiday markets. It gets really crowded and it's tough to manage the crowds.
According to Philadelphia police, retail theft has been on the rise. There were more than 9,300 incidents citywide in 2021, more than 14,000 in 2022. And so far this year, the city has reported 16,891 incidents.
Now look at this. Look at these increases. And there's in the last clip, one of the last clips, they say, oh, well, you know, crime is down and and it, you know, it's in major cities, it's this, it's that, it's oh my God. This is absolutely ridiculous, man. They are lying to our faces. They have the real numbers. They don't want you to know them because they want you to fall victim.
The city has reported 16,891 incidents.
We have to do better. It is impacting our commerce in the city of Philadelphia.
This Macy's is in City Council member Curtis Jones's district. He says he met with Philadelphia Mayor-elect Sherelle Parker Tuesday talking solutions to curb retail theft and presented her with 35 recommendations from a recent crime summit.
When she hires the chief public safety officer, that will be their ruling guide to begin the journey of making Philadelphia a cleaner, greener, safer city.
While announcing murder charges.
This nigga talking about some cleaner, greener. What the fuck? We're talking about crime, not the environment. These niggas talking about the ozone layer, and we talking about how to dodge bullets. We are not on the same page, man. And this is a brother who's representing us. Black men, what are you doing?
For the suspect in this case, Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner says his office is asking the city for more funding for a task force to help crack down on retail theft. In Center City, Ryan Hughes, CBS News Philadelphia.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.